Uh, Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our How to Take Over the World session on the 8th of April, 2022. My name's Mark. It has been a very busy and exciting week, but thank you to everybody who has given up their time to join us and participate. Yeah, lots on the go at the moment. What have we been doing this week? So, a reminder of our purpose: we do access to finance and access to markets. This could include everything from capital raising, enterprise and supply development initiatives, all the way through to communications and impact reporting on projects that we are working on at the moment. Just tuned to get you going this week or this Friday. Sai Gangnam Style, interesting thing. I didn't know this actually. Well, I knew the one about it being the first video that got on YouTube, got 1 billion views. But interestingly, I didn't know this, but it's actually all about mocking a lifestyle of appearance of wealth in Korea. And he's basically taking the piss out of people who pretend to be wealthy. So that was just a fun fact. And I'm pretty sure, Jess, I think this is your kind of tune. I've decided. I'm pretty sure you look like a Gangnam Style type person. What are we working on this week? Sam has started recruiting for 8 young ladies for the Amani Spa in Richards Bay. She's got a couple of CVs and applications in already. If you do know anybody in the area or you've got some connections, I know that there's a couple of projects working there. Please ask them to reach out to Sam if they meet the criteria. What are we working on? This has been quite a big mission for the last couple of weeks, but thank you to KG. We have finalized, or we're in the process of finalizing our financials. Just a reminder, if you know of any small businesses that need accounting, payroll, statutory returns, all their taxes done, they can reach out to us and we will get them sorted. The project from South 32 is in full swing, and the various moving parts are starting to kick into gear. So thank you to everybody that has been participating with that. New adopt an SME cohort is in play at the moment. I know that Emma and Anna have been working on onboarding for that. There's a whole lot of different businesses. There's everything from cybersecurity through to manufacturing through to PR businesses. So fun to work with a whole lot of SMEs there. A big lesson from this week, and this is something I've learned is, or been reminded of, I should say, don't kick your regulatory stuff down the road. It will hurt you. So things like getting your tax returns done in time, accounts, financials, etc. Just make sure that you're setting up systems that can help you manage these things. So a big thank you to KG for helping get that sorted, or at least catching up some of that stuff. Some of the things we are watching this week. Round 6 of the renewable energy bidding window has been launched. Obviously, energy security in South Africa is a big thing. The launch of the next window of renewable energy projects has just been launched. Just to give you some context, the bidders for round 5 were selected over a year ago, and none of those projects have actually kicked off yet. So you could almost have a double whammy if all these projects do start coming on board. Interesting trend that we picked up, Anay and I did an interview with the head of agri for ABSA, corporate investment banking, and then the head of consumer goods. And what was an interesting trend that they're starting to see is the number of farmers going direct to the consumer. Instead of going through traditional retailers, they're going through things, they're developing their own channel directly to consumers. So that was quite interesting. Those who are interested in things like politics, the Institute of Race Relations has put out 4 different scenarios for South Africa post-national elections, and interestingly, they're mildly optimistic about where we're going as a country. Cape Town Stock Exchange came up a couple of times this week. Most people don't even know that Cape Town has a separate stock exchange. There is a Cape Town Stock Exchange, and we've been seeing some projects getting listed there. JSC's got a private project placement platform where you can list infrastructure projects, raise capital, etc. And then lastly, the improved credit ratings and tax collection. It's all pretty good from an economic perspective. There are signs that we are heading in the right direction. So that's what we're watching this week. I'm going to hand over to Jess for her presentation today. Cool, Jess.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today, I'm going to be talking about the outreach strategy. Okay. So, outreach. What is it and why is it so important for companies to implement in their marketing? Outreach is a marketing tool that allows and assists you in building relationships with individuals that have something in common with you and your company. It helps you stand out in a way that will get you noticed. By getting noticed, you can reach more people. We all know how reaching people can benefit you and your business. It doesn't matter the size of your business or what you're offering. Outreach is a key factor in successful marketing and should be implemented by everybody. There is honestly nothing to lose and it can only benefit you. When you succeed in outreach, you can benefit in the following ways. Better reach and exposure. You'll get more traffic to your page than before and gain many followers or possible customers. Increase traffic and increase in credibility, which will showcase your expert skills and put you at the forefront of your field. Today's presentation is mainly aimed at showcasing how you can use this marketing strategy and make it a success for you and your company. This can be done in 7 simple steps. Step 1, find the right contacts. Your email should be aimed at specific people that will benefit your company and who your content aligns with. It's all about finding like-minded individuals who will take a serious interest in what you are offering. Step 2, use a catchy subject line within your email. This step is imperative for success. It allows you to grab the reader's attention and force them to read what you have to say. If it doesn't catch their eye, it won't be successful. Find something that will make them so curious that they have to read it. I think number 2 would definitely catch Marc's eye. Step 3, personalize the email to the best of your ability. By personalizing the email in a way that appeals to the person you're sending it to, you're able to better the relationship and may have a greater chance of being shared to others. Step 4, showcase value. By doing this, you are showcasing the recipient of the email how valuable they are to you and how valuable you are to them. Step 5, always include a CTA, call to action. This is requesting the recipient to look at the content you're sharing and stating what you'd like them to do with it. The best way to go about this is to have 2 CTAs. The first one would be the link to whatever content you want pushed, and the second would be a reminder so that they don't forget to do it. This reiterates the importance of the request. Step 6, follow up always. Follow-up emails can be frustrating. We all know that, especially when you choose not to respond. But when it comes to email marketing, it is crucial. I'd say wait about 3 to 4 days before sending a follow-up email. It doesn't matter whether or not you've heard from the recipient, a follow-up is always needed. Always link back to the original request you made, but ensure that the message is changed slightly for personalization. Lastly, step 7, track your outreach. It always needs to be tracked, as this best measures your responses. It allows you to single out the companies or individuals who's rejected your ideas or chosen not to engage with you, as well as single out the ones that do engage with you. This is the way of the future. This marketing tool can assist you in many ways and should definitely be tried and implemented where it can be. Always attempt to get with the times and become relevant where you can be, as ignoring online marketing is like opening a business but not telling anyone. It all starts with you. Thank you.
Jess, this was great, and it's such a relevant thing at the moment. I mean, there are a couple of different discussions happening at the moment, but there's a couple of things to it. I mean, one of the things, we've been debating a lot is, I'm a bit of a cynic when it comes to social media. Lots of people like all the likes and the kind of self-gratification side of things, but it doesn't really help you if you've got a massive social media presence and you're an influencer and all of this, but you can't get any real, you can't monetize that presence. I think that whole point about selecting the right contacts is super important. I think we said it earlier in the week, one of the it doesn't matter how you market it, is you can throw as many things out into the water and see how many leads you get, but if you're getting 50 bad leads and none of them are actually going to convert into business, you're actually just going sideways or backwards. So that was important. And then this follow-up thing, I know it's it's never lacquer to have to follow up and be that person, but I think it's a life skill, and the way the projects happen is because you have a call to action and then you follow it up. So I thought this was great. This was awesome. And yeah, I agree with Cam. I love the graphics. The graphics are cool. It's just a nice way to present on a Friday. So nicely done, Jess. Anybody else got any comments?
Jess, what program are you using to present?
Canva.
Was it Canva? Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. Thanks.
Pleasure.
Alrighty, no, that was a super prezo, and I think and I mean, guys, when you're doing, I know we write email campaigns for, like the FD Center and that kind of thing. We must actually just use that as a checklist when we're going out. What is the call to action? And just kind of have that as a tick box that we can actually go through. If there's nobody else who's got any comments, then over to Anae.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually just waited for everyone else to finish what they're saying because I'm going to have a whole presentation to say my bit now. What's really cool is how what I'm presenting on this morning actually fits in with what Jess was presenting. Like, when we do all these things and you have this online presence, it's so much easier to get your message across when you actually have people that buys into what you're selling. And with that being said, I want to start my presentation off this morning by asking you the question, what are you selling? And I want you to ponder on that for a few seconds, whether you're selling a product, a service, or an idea maybe. And I think that's the crux of what we will be talking about this morning. When we're selling, or we are always selling, if you're not a salesperson that gets a commission on the products or the services that you're selling, you will always be selling something, and often that will be an idea. If you want a new car, for instance, and you are still in a fortunate position for someone else to buy you that car, how are you getting across that having a car will add value to their life and not just to yours? And I think that's the point that we often miss. So yeah, I just want to stop here for 2 seconds. So if someone feels confident enough to maybe share something that they had to sell over the past few weeks, I think Sam, you have an example of something.
I'd say Artivarsity.
Yeah, Artivarsity as a product, but also you've been in the process of implementing new things within our team, and you had to sell the idea of getting that.
Okay, I see. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So that was actually just the point that I wanted to get across. Often we think about what we're selling as the physical stuff that we need to get money for, but often the ideas that we implement behind those things are the drivers to get it over the line. So just for some context for people that's not part of our team, Sam has been awesome in actually implementing some internal processes in our team over the past couple of weeks to ensure that our internal processes work a bit better so that our external processes get achieved. So it doesn't really matter what you sell if people don't buy and people don't buy into the ideas or the things that you're selling. So, innovate or die, this often used quote was made famous by Tom Peters and used by people ranging from Bill Gates to United States senators. Where does innovation come from? It's fairly simple. Innovation requires creative people with new ideas. What is not so simple is getting people to listen and buy in to new ideas. What about new employees? One of the benefits of adding new employees is that they are a great source of new ideas. How can we best take advantage of their imagination and brain power? Were you once that new employee who had a great idea that could have resulted in significant improvements but struggled with getting acceptance? Generating new ideas is only part of the equation, or selling someone an awesome solution is only part of the equation. We must get our ideas and products accepted as well as implemented. One of the immediate reactions we encounter when we try to convince people of new ideas is resistance. So people attack our ideas, question our motives, table our discussions, and give us the famous, "It's a great idea, but it will never work," statements. How many times have we witnessed good ideas get tossed aside? While it might not seem as simple as brainstorming new ideas, there are definitely some positive steps we can take to generate buy-in for our new ideas. So let's first start to look at the definition of what is buy-in. Buy-in is the acceptance and willingness to actively support and participate in something. Now, that sounds quite simple, and it reminded me of the picture of a checkout card. If we sell a product online, we don't really have any influence in how people perceive that product apart from how we reach out to them. And that's where I think Jess's presentation this morning actually fits in quite well. We have no power to let people press the checkout button, except if we can sell them a product or an offering that they're bought into. So what hinders buy-in? Zig Ziglar has a quote where he says, "Every sale has 5 obstacles: no time, no money, no hurry, no desire, and no trust." I want us to think of that thing that you're selling that we spoke about, or that you thought of at the beginning of this presentation. Sam, I'm sure that you've had some pushback over the past 2 weeks with people implementing the processes that you wanted to implement. And some of the excuses were, and I know that I was a culprit here as well, is to say that maybe I don't have time to do an additional step in the process. Or often when you want to sell something, people say, "But I don't have money to buy this," or "There's no hurry in the process," where people are like, "Hurry up and wait." So they never commit to actually paying the bill or pressing the checkout button. There's no desire for change, and people don't understand the why behind what they have to do. If they understand the why, often they're more inclined to doing what you want them to do because they understand the value that it also adds to their life. Unfortunately, and I'm saying this tongue in cheek, but people are selfish in nature. If we get it right to actually explain to them and sell to them, and selling is not really the right word in this context, but if we get it right to explain to them why what we are doing, or why what we are implementing, or why what we are selling is important, they are more inclined to buy into our ideas. The last one, and if you read up on the importance of buy-in, or why buy-in fails, or elements that can promote buy-in, trust comes up on all the lists. And it's interesting that Zig Ziglar actually sees this as an obstacle to sales, and having no trust in a product or a service or an offering kind of hinders us from getting to that point of buy-in. So establishing trust is really important in having people buy in to what you are wanting to implement or sell. So the biggest flaw I see with buy-in, and if we look at how we can get people to buy into our ideas, is the fact that we don't approach it as buying at all, but about selling in. John Cotter calls this describe and defend. We develop an idea, sell it to ourselves first, and then go about selling it to others. We consider every objection and develop an airtight defense for each one. The problem is that we need others to be open to our influence. When they feel sold to, they are more likely to resist or ignore our entries. We may get compliance, but we don't get the kind of buy-in that motivates others to deeply support our ideas and continuously buy our products. Real buy-in involves at least some element of co-creation. It invites discussion, debate, and allows everyone to feel even more vested in the outcome. And that circles back to communicating the why of the reason behind why we're doing something or selling someone a specific solution. Rand Fishkin is the CEO and co-founder of SEO Moz. He said, the best way to sell something is to not sell anything at all. You need to earn the awareness, respect, and trust of those who might buy, and then the sale will follow, or in this case, the buy-in will follow. So I want us to just ponder on that for a little while. If we can communicate in a way where we earn the awareness, also circling back to that outreach strategy that Jess has spoken about, if we can do the right things when we raise awareness so that we can earn awareness and through that earn respect, I think trust ties in so nicely with respect, because when we deliver on the promises we make on time and in full, we have people that trust us and in turn respect us, and who will be more likely to do what we want them to do. We will get the buy-in from the people in our areas. So how to make sure people are buying what you're selling? Don't sell them anything at all. Give them the tools and influence them in a way that will want them, or that will make them want to buy what you're selling, instead of forcing them to buy what you're selling. And yes, that is my presentation for this morning. Thank you, guys.
Cool. So first comment, and I think that's probably your strongest presentation you've done since we've done these sessions. So thank you very much. That's very cool. Second comment, Sam, will you work with Jess and get those five the 5 points on that one slide, and then from Jess's presentation, and get them made up as posters, and I think we can get them stuck to the wall in the office just so that they are front and center and we can see them. I think it'll be very cool, and it's just a nice way just to remind ourselves of some of the simple things as a checklist where it is front and center. Yeah, no, I just posted in the chat, but I was actually the reason I enjoy these sessions is you do actually get to think about and introspect a bit, and with the point about no trust, and Sam's busy putting in the system. Well, between Sam and Anay, they're busy putting in the system to this check-in system on a Friday. And she WhatsApped me during the week and she said, don't forget you have to check in with me on Friday. And my first reaction was, who the hell does Sam think she is that I must check in with her? And then I thought afterwards, it's to get buy-in is important, but on top of that, if there's a system, the system has to be applicable to everybody. And I think it's such a perfect example of selling an idea to everybody, and that. So I in hindsight, it for me is something that benefits the entire group, but that means that it's applicable to everybody. So that was just an interesting observation from my side. Anybody else got any comments?
Mark, I've been in your boat this week, because I'm like, I know this is important, and I know when we implement this system, I'm going to be able to keep myself accountable while we keep other people accountable on the team as well. But truthfully, I couldn't get my brain to just do it. At the moment, I also considered the why behind it, understanding that if I do it, I first of all keep myself accountable, but I also have something to measure someone like other people's performance and keep them accountable. It helped me to just do it. So I that's exactly why I did this presentation this morning. Is the moment I got myself to buy into the idea, I was more inclined to actually executing the process. So yeah, thanks for also like admitting that, because I think a lot of us has gone through that process this week to be like, yeah, but it takes extra time. It does take extra time, but it actually forces you to have a place to go back to say like, oh shit, I need to prioritize this, or I need to just relook this or reprioritize or follow up here. So yeah,
And
thanks.
it's exactly that. It's your objection list, and that objection list is no time and no trust. And it's a perfect example of somebody selling all the time. Sam, you wanted to say something?
I did. I just wanted to say, guys, it's a pleasure for creating a bit of admin in everyone's lives. But I promise you, it's going to be so cool at lunchtime today when we have our status meeting and we all tick all our things off our list and we just like reflect on a really good week of work. And I hope everyone's seen a good week of work because of their checklist.
I think so. Anyone
Thanks,
else
Sam.
got any comments? I know, sorry, I cut you off there.
No, not at all. I'm just saying thanks, Sam. Like, I'm also looking forward to that meeting.
Cool. Guys, I mean, any other comments before I wrap up here? Yeah, so just a couple of closing comments from my side. One, KG, thank you for all your help this week. And again, it's all about systems and buy-in and following up. It's the hard stuff that people don't see. And so thank you to you for that following up. To everybody's kind of had a lot on the go at the moment, and we got through a lot this week. So I think that's been a good thing. And then lastly, yeah, I mean, I think these have been two excellent presentations. I think it's, people have thought about them. They put a lot of effort into them. The look and feel looks slick. I think it's just been a good session in general, and I think that it's applicable to our lives. We'll take this offline, but it looks like we have a very big project, a new project that was brought to us yesterday. I'll probably be able to give you details on it during the course of next week. But in principle, it'll probably become our second biggest retainer agreement. So that could be a really nice win for us. But yeah, we're excited. There's a lot on the go, and hopefully we all just keep our heads down and we just tick the things, and yeah, we have a good April. So thank you to everybody. If there's no other comments, I'm going to wrap up there, and then we'll have a good Friday. Cheers, guys.
Bye, Ryan. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Friday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.